Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG on the eastbourne of Sand River, and we've got no sound, so I'm restarting it straight away so we can get some sound on these tanks. That's better. Yes, the Tier 7 German SPG with a 15cm gun based on the Panther hull and located on the eastbourne of Sand River. Funny how it's got a D-rated engine, whereas the Panther has almost twice as much horsepower. This thing has a lot less. They said apparently it doesn't have the supercharger on. I find that a bit hard to believe that they will put out, or Krupp would actually manufacture a Panther without its supercharger. There we go. Okay, well, he's not moving far from the firing position, Talon. And he is in competition with Angelina to try and get the weekend slay in. So let's see how he gets on. Does he score better than her? She's got a first class and a Confederate already. Can she get a better score? Well, got a Leo. Grabs out. Landed right in front of him. This is the first of two replays in this video. The second one is Angelina again, I'm afraid. She's been very, very busy. Yeah, she's not giving Talon much of a chance to score a decent win. Okay, T71 CMCB fires around it, and ooh, that was close. He got some splash off him, 15 hit points and some stun. And the enemy Arty's knows exactly where we are because a round just came in, but it wasn't a very good counter battery. It landed too far away to do any damage, but he's staying around in the same position. Really, normally when that happens to me, I'd be off and find a new position altogether to make it much more difficult for the enemy to work out where I am. But anyway, he's going to fire over to the north end of the map, and there's a Lancer C, but he's lost sight of him. He can see that Leo, but he's got a red line just a little further back, which might mean that there's an obstruction. Probably a rock that he's going to fire onto. It actually hit the ridge line ahead of him. Okay, he is changing position this time, and I think he will change position after every shot just to make absolutely sure. Although I would say though, if the enemy has already fired in this direction to this particular spot, best not to move back to the same spot that you fired from before, because he might think that you haven't changed position and fire around in on there anyway. Okay, he's got a red line because that guy is way too close, and I think he's going to have to escape now because that guy is getting, well, he's going to be above him any second, and he doesn't want to come across the Barras this early in the game, because if he does, it might be terminal for him. The Barras has come across our GSOR though, and that's a direct hit on the M103. He's changing position again. Tier 9 game, Tier 7 Arty. Might be a good idea to go to the riverbed in the north area, just north of the cap area. He is reloading, and I think he's doing precisely that. Standard reload is 25.89 seconds. He's got 20.97. So he has managed to drop it by 5 seconds. And he's perfectly lined up to get a shot straight down the riverbed on the enemy. Momentarily went back to the Leo, but we've got an E75. They've just lost their M103. No other shots. Couldn't get a shot on that standard B. There's the Leo again. He's running away because there's a whole bunch of our guys coming down that corner of the map. I'd focus on the Lancer C and the standard B on the enemy team now. I don't think that Barras is any more harm to us now. He was taken out the game. In fact, the enemy tanks, they lost 5 tanks to R1. Okay, he's lined up on the standard B, which is good. Thin armor on that thing, but he's so close to the object. Best to go for these guys up here, or the Lancer if he can. Can't see the Lancer at the moment, but you can see the KV3. Rounds out. This should be good. Oh, GW stunned him, and he got some stun assist off it. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the actual KV-3 because it hit the rocks. Now he's anticipating the Lancer C is somewhere over here. You can still see the KV-3 though. He's dialing in. Almost ready. Rounds out. That's good. Yes! 114. It landed right next door to the KV-3. The Leo is at the other end of the riverbed. With a T-28 prototype coming into sight as well. They're putting up a very strong defence. KV-3 still in sight, and people have requested fire on them because it's got the arrow above the tank. So we might need to put a round up there. And that Tortoise is a major headache for them. Rounds out. Direct hit. 22 hit points. Only 22. And there's their Arty and the Super Hellcat on the heights above. Now they must be the priority now because they are the ones who do have sidecar guys. And in fact, actually most of our guys did die. But if the GW's up there, well, fire around it and see if we can hit him. And he got him! He got a hit. It didn't kill him, but it did hit him. He was the other one up there. We're way up on the enemy now, although 4 tanks up on the enemy, but we just lost our Skoda T56. But the enemy lost their Leo, their KV-3. There's the GW. He's missing most of his hit points. And he just got a direct hit on the T-28 prototype. Going for the GW. This could be a kill shot if he can get it on target. But no, he's killed by the LTG. Well, actually it was the GSOR who got the kill. And now our team is forming up to annihilate the enemy. Good hit on the T-28. 243. He's almost out of hit points, but he's picking up loads of stun assist. And now we're moving over to the Tortoise. One of only 2 left on the enemy team. The Lancer C is up on the heights, but he won't last very long. And he's gone, which means the Tortoise is the last enemy. So it's been a decent battle. Rounds out. Direct hit. 134 on the rear of the vehicle, where it's weakest on the armour. He might be able to get another shot in before the others get the kill. Tortoise is notoriously difficult to kill. It is an assault PD after all. Now he aimed that one short, but he did get the stun and he got the last load of hit points, which means that he's benefited from that shot. That was a decent game. Well, here's the end of battle stats for that one. And it was another first-class tanker for talon1958 in the GW Panther. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 7. And he got a Confederate as well, just like Angelina, for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. But his win rate wasn't quite as high. It was only 1,311. I think that we can put that down to most of the damage being stun assists rather than actual damage on the enemy. If we look at team score, we can see that he did the, well, he was the 5th highest damage in the game on his own team. But there were, let's have a look. Well, there was 6 enemy team members who were ahead of him, plus 4 in his own team, puts him 11th overall. The highest damage in the game was the Rain 40 ton, who got a tank sniper for 3,772. Second highest damage was the Leopard prototype with 3,075. And the third highest damage was that Tortoise with 2,988. Talon managed to get 1,192, which is not bad. But as I said, it's 11th. When it came to kills, he didn't get any at all, which helped him to get that Confederate, I think, more than anything. And because he's way down here, the high score in the game was the Tortoise with 4. 3 kills went to the T30 and the GSOR 1008. And when it came to base XP, it was the Lorraine 40 ton who did the best with 1140, followed by Talon with 889. As I said, he got most of his damage by stun assist, and that added to his base XP. 13 shots fired, 6 direct hits, no penetration but 10 splash. Damage of 1,192 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 0, so that's why he got the Confederate. 1,771 hit points off 10 stuns. I think you could say that he got a lot of extra XP simply because he kept his gun active as much as he could. 41,273 credits for the game, 7,099 for completing a mission and events, and after resupply of ammunition took away 33,812 credits profit. And he took away 5,336 XP because obviously he gets the bonus from the mission completion. So first game is a good one. It's not quite as good as Angelina's. If you look at Win 8, they both got a first class and they both got a Confederate. But if you look at Angelina's score, she got 3,164 in the 212A because she kept her howitzer busy by firing out as many rounds as she could. So let's have a look and see how Angelina gets on in the next game. The second game is on the north spawn of Abbey, and it's under the command of Angelina75, but this time round she's in the tier 5 German SPG, the Grille. Game on. This is the SPG that's based on the hull of the Hetzer. Same hull as the Marder actually. In fact, if you swap the gun, you could actually have a Marder anti-tank, or tank destroyer I should say. It's basically the same mount. In fact, Tank Fest a couple of years back, or 3 years ago, they did actually have a Marder, and I was looking at it in close detail because it's exactly the same vehicle as the Grille. Okay, we've got a Skoda T25 at the other end of the Abbey Road. Rounds out. Direct hit. 204. Now it's a 15cm howitzer capable of 480 alpha and penetrating 38mm of armour. Angelina's only carrying HE rounds. No armour piercing or high power HE or special power HE as they call it, which is kind of ridiculous anyway. Oh, no, I heard a rumble there. Yep, that was artillery coming in, and I think it was hitting or going after the Leffy on our team. Yep, he's getting counter battery. Okay, so Angelina's going to go after the Britannia Panther, or the Baguette. A nice direct hit for 201. Looked like it hit the engine bay. And it looks like our Fifi's also firing in that direction. But obviously the enemy has got a PP and an M41. And they're firing in that direction as well. Well, T1 Heavy just took the round from the PP. Angelina fires in. Narrowly misses the last tank in that train, which is the T1 Heavy. And she's moving to the west. She needs to, because there's nothing between her and the enemy tanks. And the PP is also taking a position just off the cap area. We've got a Hellcat and a Stug 3G. They can spot for us. And the best thing for Angelina to do is she's going exactly to the right position. Sit on this corner here so she can get into cover if she needs to and shoot over the rock at the enemy as they try to take the cap. They can't see her, but she can see them. Okay, well, one of the enemy tanks has made its way through the gates towards our cap, but Angelina's looking to the south and she's found a Wolverine, lining up a shot, working out. That's good. Lovely hit, 208, and he goes down immediately afterwards to our KV2. Look at this, 3 tanks trying to claim our cap. In fact, 4 tanks because the Baguette's gone round the corner, and Angelina's got a whole bunch of targets to go for. A smorgasbord. Yep, that was a direct hit. She got a blind direct hit there. I think it was on the BDR, but I can't be sure. But one of them pulled back, and I think, well, it may have been the T1 actually. There's the BDR. There's the M4. Now she can hit him directly. She's fully dialed in. Now. Rounds out. Direct hit. Wipes him out. She got a kill. Going for the Churchill 3 now. You may have seen my video on the Churchill 3 the other day with Mr. Lan. Very good tank to mark that one because it's that 6-pounder gun's very effective. She got a direct hit on the BDR, Angelina, and she just got another direct hit. I think it was on the tank that was behind the Churchill 3. it was either that or it was the engine deck of the Churchill 3, but he's taking loads of hits now. I think the Fifi's after him as well. She fires another one in, and another direct hit! I have a feeling the BDR was sitting behind the Churchill 3 and he was taking the damage, not the Churchill 3. But they both pulled back because they were both suffering heavy damage. Our guys up on the cap area must be really happy because Angelina's giving them great protection. Fires a blind shot in at the baguettes. Standard reload is 22.53 seconds. She's got 18.40 using premium consumables, a rammer, a good crew. Okay, we've got a BDR gone around and he gets killed immediately by the Matilda Black Prince. There's the baguette. Now she's got a long dial-in because she did change the angle on the vehicle. But remember, the trajectory on the Gorilla is very high, which means she can lock the shell in on him. And she got him! Another direct hit. That baguette's probably got very little in the way of hit points now. Angelina's having a great battle here. She's very difficult to beat. Talon must be quaking in his boots of what she's going to do next. Another direct hit on the T1 Heavy, 157, and the Fifi kills him off. Now the scores are even at the moment. Both teams have got 5 tanks left apiece. We've got 2 Arty and the enemy's only got 1. Unfortunately, we've just lost our Stug 3G. And the guy defending the cap area now is just the Matilda Black Prince. Angelina's taking up a different position to get a better angle on the enemy. Skoda T25's gone through the village. Ooh, the Baguette Panthers decided to try and go around and get the Fifi. I'm not sure if Angelina's going to be close enough or far enough away, but, well, she doesn't need to worry because the Matilda Black Prince got the kill. And now the cap's clear. So all she needs to worry about now is that Skoda T25, and our KV1 shielded is going after him. She might even be able to get a shot through these gaps here. Oh no, he's moving too quickly. No, she's not going to be able to hit him because he's just moving too quickly, and she just got spotted. And that's bad news because here comes a box tank. Oh, can she get a shotgun? No. No, the 13cm gun on the box tank finishes her off in 1 round. He does take a hit from the Fifi though, right on the superstructure. The Black Prince is coming down to deal with him. That was rather unfortunate, that. But it looks like her team has this... Although they've actually only got 3 tanks left, they do have more hit points than the enemy does. And despite the fact that the box tank is trying to bully the Matilda, it's actually the Matilda who's actually winning, and he gets the kill. Just goes to show the armour on the Matilda Black Prince is quite strong. It's a slow tank, but it does have a lot of weight, a lot of armour. Okay, now, which one does he go after next? He could go to the cap, but he doesn't need to go after the Skoda now, so he can actually make his way to the enemy cap area, take out the Arty, and then hopefully force that Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4C, the Death Toaster, to come back to their cap area. We don't know where he is at the moment, but he was last seen on the east side of the map near the River Road. I suspect he's come back to the cap. KV1 Shielded's gone in to have a look around inside the Abbey grounds. You can see the Matilda Black Prince is no novice. He's actually got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his tank, and it is one of the cheaper premium tanks that you can get, although most people think it's so slow it's unbelievable. But of course it's very much like the the Excelsior. in that it actually does have very heavy armor and a decent fast firing gun. The only drawback is, of course, it's so slow. It's, well, pedestrian, you might say. A lot of people get put off by the fact that you'll go from one end of the battlefield to the other, and by then the game will be over. It can only make a maximum, if I remember correctly, it's only something like 25 kilometers an hour or thereabouts. Well, he needs to join the KV-1 shielded in the cap area. Have a quick look just over the edge now, just to see if the enemy Arty, the Fifi, is nearby. He's not in the cap area. Oh, now that's interesting. It might be that the Panther 1958 has actually gone to our cap. And it would take too long for the Matilda Black Prince to get over there, and probably too long for the KV-1 shielded as well. So they both need to get into the cap as quickly as they can and try and out cap. Unless, of course, that is the enemy Fifi, in which case it could be that the Death Toaster will try to reset them. And he stopped capping. And he stopped capping because our Fifi on our team, DB Cooper, just took out the Death Toaster in the cap area, so he must have worked out where he was and blind killed him. And they're all saying nice shot in chat. They're saying, Angelina said, get in cap, make him come to you. Yes, that is the right thing to do. And there he is. He's off by the riverside. The KV-1 shielded wants to kill. Fifi's doing some long range shooting, trying to get the shots in. Now he might be able to get a hit on the Fifi, but that Fifi might be able to get a reset. Oh, Arty! He just got another kill. He took out the enemy Fifi and wins the game. Well, despite that being, unfortunately, Angelina wasn't alive at the end of that game. Despite that being a short game, or short-term game for Angelina, she got a first-class tanker in that one and a bruiser medal again, this time for 8 critical hits. And she got a Confederates yet again for getting more hits on the enemy than anyone else on her team. And it was a pretty good battle she had defending the cap area. 3,809 was the win rate, which is Super Unicum standard. And yes, that definitely outperforms talon1958's score. So I think she's definitely winning at the moment for next weekend's lie-in. Let's have a look at team score. Well, yes, I think you can see now the highest damage in that game was actually the box tank on the enemy team, who managed to get a high caliber for 2,311. Of course, he managed to find and kill Angelina. So 2311 for him. The second highest damage was our Fifi DB Cooper. I think I've seen that name before, actually. I think he may be a member of What Arty Noobs, or may have been in the past. 1,700 hit points to him, and Angelina got the second score with 1,636. And special mention should go to DB Cooper, because of course he was the one who blind shot the enemy Death Toaster in the cap area. He didn't know where he was. Well, he worked out where he was because he put a round there and killed him outright. When it came to kills, it was the Matilda Black Prince that did the best with 4 kills. 3 kills went to DB Cooper and to the VK3001P, and also to the Fifi on the enemy team, who managed to get 3. And Angelina only got the 1 kill, but that helped her to get the Confederate. When it came to base XP, it was the Matilda who did the best with 946, 746 to the Fifi, and 736 went to the VK3001P, and Angelina got the 4th highest base XP with 712. She fired 12 shots in the game, but she got 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 9 splash. Damage of 1,636 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She did receive 1 hit. It was a penetration. It was a 13-centimeter shell, so it was just going to carve straight through her armor, which is virtually non-existent, and it did kill her. But she did get shots on 7 enemy vehicles and only 1 kill, which meant she got the Confederate. 108 hit points of damage assist, 523 hit points of stun assist of 8 stuns. She earned 84,332 credits out of that game, and that's a decent profit from a tier 5. She also picked up 2,136 XP. I think it's looking very much likely that Talon is not going to get a lion again next week. He's going to lose it to Angelina. But the contest carries on all week, so for the moment she's in charge. She's a checkmate on this one because her score in the Grille beat his score in the GW. But yes, he could get a good game in and get an ace tanker, and if he does, he wins outright straight away the moment he gets an ace. But he's going to have to do a lot of work to get an ace tanker during the week to beat Angelina. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do remember to let other people know that we've got a second channel called The General, where I put out a huge number of videos, well 5 a day, which are all Paul's Medal winning games, or some of them even Racine Heroes winning games. And so it's well worth watching them because you see how people actually do get huge numbers of kills in some of these tanks, and they're won at all tiers as well, not just the top tiers. You see tanks even at tier 5 getting Paul's medals, and that's pretty incredible to watch that happen. Thanks for watching.